going to be speaking about shaping Africa's hospitality rather. And I think it is imperative for us to know how we're shaping it so that we can all fight towards the same common mission. The moderator for this is Andrew McLachlan. I hope I said it right. I always ask for forgiveness before the permission. So please, a round of applause as Andrew makes his way to stage and introduce his panelists.
Hi, good afternoon. So my name's Andrew McLachlan. I own my own company called Develop Hotels Incorporated. We've got 20 minutes this afternoon to talk about strategic sort of investment in hospitality. We've got a great panel, 3 different people. We've got Karim from Marriott, Senior Vice President. We've got Wessam from TUI and Graham from Sun International. So I think what's quite interesting about the actual panelists, we've got 3 very, very different business models that each of them sort of operate in different segments. So we'll sort of speak not about geographies where they're actually focusing from a demand point of view, but actually products where they're actually where they're actually investing their money from a product point of view to actually capture the sort of future demand from a hospitality point of view. So maybe, Graham, if we start off with you as Sun International. So Sun International, for people who don't know, it's a gaming and hospitality company focused on South Africa, and a resort-orientated business. Graham, you and I have obviously known each other for many, many years, and the one product that you've sort of spoken about a lot has been the success of the Sun Vacation Club. So maybe you can just sort of let the audience know a little bit about Sun Vacation Club, how it actually works. I experienced it for the first time last year at my older son's bachelor party at Sun City. It was an amazing weekend. The product is excellent, but tell us a little bit more about it and the investment model, the returns, why it's so exciting for Sun International to focus on this.
Thanks, Andrew. It's quite interesting when you listen to everything that's been going on with developments and opportunities. Not once has timeshare or vacation ownership come up in the discussions, and we've been in the timeshare business like our colleagues at Southern Sun have been in the timeshare industry for a long, long time. We started in 1996 at Sun City, where it was part of the resort repositioning to drive footfall, and we started with a conversion of some staff accommodation into timeshares, and roll forward to today, we've got 442 timeshare units at the resort, running 85% occupancy. But the beauty about our model is that it's not an evergreen timeshare model, which is not actually that popular with people today. It's a term-based timeshare model, so you can buy a 5-year or a 10-year holiday. And as a developer and as an owner, it's a great model because you retain ownership of the asset and you flip it every 5 and 10 years with refurbs. And it's generated a huge amount of cash and exceptional returns for us. But it is dependent on the brand and the location. It's not, some timeshare developments don't work because it tends to be wrong locations, but for us it's been exceptionally popular.
And from a Sun City point of view, you see even more scale, you wanting to add more to Sun City, and why add more to this huge, very successful integrated resort scheme?
Yeah, so we added 58 villas. We decided to go into the luxury segment, so we added 58 villas. They opened in October of 2022, and it was interesting. Our feasibility was to sell out in 7 years, all the modules, and we sold out in 3. It's a combination of 3-bed and 4-bed villas. So off the back of that, we have plans to add probably another 180 3-bed and 4-bed units. And the rationale behind not only the fact that it generates great returns, but it's all about driving footfall to the resort to sustain your concessionaires, your restaurants, your golf courses, etc. And for us, it's all about, it's a huge resort, so it's all about driving footfall. And it actually adds to our conferencing inventory as well.
So from a strategic focus point of view, you wouldn't necessarily look anywhere else in South Africa, or?
I think once we've exhausted the Sun City opportunity, because it's in our own backyard and we know it works, then I think we would go into third-party locations. KZN North Coast, potentially the Western Cape as well, would be opportunities.
And when we talk about third party, let's get into Cape Town. So Cape Town, you've successfully run a hotel in the V&A waterfront for 25 years. It's now going through a massive refurbishment, almost R1 billion refurb. And your business model is changing there. You're moving from owner-operator to a tripartite sort of relationship. How's that culturally? It's
been interesting. It's an interesting journey for us because we go from owner-operator of hotels and casinos to now into a third-party hotel arrangement, a management arrangement. It's been an interesting dynamic working with the V&A as the owner and IHG as the franchisor and us as the operator. But we've actually learned a lot, particularly from new brand standards and new operating methods, etc. So it is about how we find ourselves in that three-way relationship. But so far, it's working well. It's not a model that necessarily we as Sun International are going to roll out as a third-party hotel management business. This is a case of still wanting to be at the best address in Cape Town and still being involved in the international luxury segment. It's important for us for our connection of Cape Town and Sun City, etc. So it's important for us to remain in the location.
And do you think there's potential in some of you existing where you are the owner and the operator, that maybe having it under a global flag might have a revenue upside for you, or you wait and see?
No, there's been some discussions about potentially doing some of that at Sun City, but I don't think so. I think the brands there, if you were going to do it, you'd potentially look at the Palace of the Lost City, but it's such a strong, iconic brand in its own right. And we've spent so much time, energy, and resources and money investing in the product, and it's really starting to perform now. So I don't think we're going to go down that road.
And other business, if you've got a brand new CEO, you've headhunted him out of the UK. He comes from an online gaming expert, turning some business around there. If I look into Sun International, are you moving into online gaming? What is the future there?
Yeah, there's been a structural shift in the casino industry in South Africa, like many parts of the world, whereas online is now almost 2/3 bigger than the land-based casino industry. So we have a brand called Sunbet, and we see a big opportunity on creating convergence between a land-based casino experience and an online experience, and trying to retain customers within our own portfolio of product between land-based casinos and online. So, and Ulrich brings that strength, that digital presence and the digital experience in the online space.
Oh, it's exciting, hey? Good for you. Let's move to Karim. So, Karim, obviously, Marriott's massive, one of the biggest operator on the African continent, operating multiple brands under different business models. What you've done, and me looking in sort of, you as such a big battleship of an organization, you still seem to be able to act and be agile and be entrepreneurial and do things which I think sometimes the market is quite surprised about. So we just dive into Safari. Well, what are you doing in Safari? Like you're the first guys to sort of dive into that space. Tell us a little bit more about Safari on the African continent and Marriott.
Thank you, Andrew. I promise not to say how fantastic are our hotels and how many hotels we have and opened and will open. That's my promise to you. But also, I don't want to repeat what my colleague Jugal just said this morning about Safari. So look, it's a pleasure to be with you, Andrew. If you think about our journey, has been really long journey for us in Africa. We started in 2010 with only 7 hotels, only in Egypt as well, open. Today we have more than 150 hotels open, 29,000 plus rooms. We saw the numbers of Trevor before. And I think we managed to have our flagships across the continent. That's, call it phase 1, right? In gateway cities, etc. I will not name our brands, St. Regis, Ritz-Carlton, Marriott, etc. The West in here. But then there is a shift in mindset. And for me, I always tell my team and the organization, we move to another dimension. The dimension is not anymore to open more rooms and more hotels. Is more to build a portfolio, diversified portfolio that speaks actually to the travelers' demand and of today, and hence the idea of safaris as well. We were never in this space, right? And for us was very strange, and we are too big, as you say, to manage. But yeah, I call it, it's difficult to make the elephant move, but at Marriott we can make the elephant dance, you know? So we managed to convince everyone, and it's a really success story that we worked on it 7 years ago. We started our first deal 5 years ago. It opened 2-3 years ago, the JW in Masai Mara. It's a great moment for us. We have built on that moment. We have a dozen signed and design, under construction. Ritz-Carlton brand is on board, the JW Autograph Collection. So it's a great story for us. And again, I said it's not anymore about, that applies not only to Safari, right? It's not anymore about adding more rooms and hotels, but to other segments across the continent, right? We need to follow the travelers where they are going. At this stage, with more than 150 hotels, we are more picking up strategically how we grow. Now, going back to the Safari one, it's exciting for us, but also we had to partner with the right people. We cannot pretend we know Safari, right? I personally learned a lot over the past 20, 25 years from Africa. I'm African myself. But also we partnered with very strong, passionate owners and investors who know what they are doing already. We are not here to teach them. Actually, we have learned a lot from them.
So the model's franchise?
Yeah, franchise.
Franchise,
you know. Even though we thought about managing, and we have a couple of managed opportunity, but still, if we have the right franchisee and operators and the owners who know what they are doing, and they have the ground handling operations, etc., it's really a successful model. And again, in this Safari segment is not anymore about standards and service as well. It is an emotional connection to that place. Remember, those Safari lodges come with a very fragile ecosystem, right? So we have a social responsibility also to take care and sustainability about those locations, you know, and the local community. So yeah, it's been great, and we are still learning.
And if we take your sort of, again, it's adapting and investing new brands to new market demands. Obviously, from a developer point of view, service departments are very, very popular. It's a new way or a popular way to fund products. You've launched a dedicated sort of soft service department brand to sort of cater to that market, Apartments by Marriott. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love that concept. We introduced this as Apartment by Marriott Bonvoy, maybe to explain a bit to the audience. I personally think there is a huge potential for growth in Africa. And why? Because it sits between the branded resi, but also serviced apartment. It's a hotel product, and it's a soft brand, so it's conversion friendly. So typically you have a residential building that the investors or the owners or the institution owner would convert into extended stay hotel. And it is different from serviced apartment. Why? Because typically you have 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartment with a kitchen, and the travelers, we catering specifically to travelers that are, again, looking for flexibility, independence, to have their own apartment, but the space of living. Yet still it is with a trusted global brand, right? However, for the investors, they don't need to build a kitchen, they don't need to follow very strict...
From a developer point of view, it's a very developer-friendly product offering, I think.
So you don't, if you have a building, and you don't need to follow strict standards of a serviced apartment like the Residence Inn we have, right? So you don't have a restaurant, it's purely converting that hotel, but actually you're tapping it into our distribution platform and our Marriott Bonvoy 240 million members.
Last question, because
you promised to be easy with me today.
So let's talk about new stuff coming in, new additions.
What did you say?
Addition.
Addition, you mean?
Is it addition or edition coming?
Me no English.
And you're acquiring new brands, you're launching new stuff. I've read stuff in the marketplace. You might be closing on the deal, but like seeing Marriott acquire Citizen M, that's like super exciting. And again, for me, looking in at Marriott, that's quite uncharacteristic to see you be as agile as that and pick up a brand. And what else are you doing?
So what you said about edition or addition, I didn't understand your English. I think it's very interesting, okay? So, but to answer that quickly, I think, I said it yesterday during an interview, I think Cape Town is in need for proper luxury lifestyle brand. We are working on a couple, okay?
Excellent.
And in due term, beautiful babies, when they come to life, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Going back to the Citizen etc., I want to say live here, congratulations to Aleph for the partnership with Onomo. I think that's a very bold move, okay?
Yeah.
That sits again together near the Citizen So I think, and it's a brand well established. It's a free marketing for you, Aleph. Huh? So anyway, I think Citizen it's exciting. I think overall in Africa, I will not repeat what other people just said. There is a huge opportunity for mid-scale lifestyle, you know. And again, that fits again to build hotels and the portfolio that really speaks to where people travel. And this is that's part of the segments we are trying to capture, and we're having great pipeline coming in that will hopefully next year we sit and talk about.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
All right, Wessam. So maybe from a TUI point of view, we obviously had your colleague just on right before us who gave us a really good description about the size of TUI, how long TUI's been sort of active on the African continent. But if we look at sort of, and he discussed a little bit about the vertical integration from TUI, from tour operator to airline, to cruise liner, to hotel. I love obviously coming into the waterfront and actually seeing TUI ships coming into the cruise liner terminal. Now the brand is present here. If we talk about multiple or sort of cluster resorts, tell us a little bit about what do you actually mean by that? And you're not just a management company or an asset-light company. You do strategically have asset-heavy investments. Tell us a little bit more about the tool or the structure that you would actually put in place for something like that.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. In fact, yes, it is not, with us, it's not about hotel booking, right? It is an ecosystem which is integrated, vertically integrated to offer end-to-end holidays. That's mean with us, and why we are as a hotel operator, we are integrated into the tour operator, who is giving us the absolute power to be able to offer a unique guest experience from the flight, including the transportation, then into the destination. So we go in as a pioneer in new destination. We create the destination, and with the power of the tour operator and having our aircrafts coming into the destination, we create locally a sort of a unique cluster where you have different segmentation of 5-star luxury experience, but you have an upper mid-scale and you have a sort of a budget hotel.
And typically, how big would those resorts need to be?
Sorry?
Typically, how big, if you were doing a cluster resort, how many rooms would that be? 800 rooms, 900 rooms?
In average, it's around about 1,000 rooms, yeah? But in some destination, it's a very good, successful model, which we did, for example, in Cape Verde, in Sal. We have right now over 4,500 rooms. Wow. So we produce about 80% of the Cabo Verde tourism with us, with a huge flight operation, but also different segmentation, and even with Rio Hotel alone, we have 2,500 rooms on the island. Here, it is not only about creating volume, it is also about empowering the local community, about creating jobs, but also bringing education, additional education to let the people around the hospitality and around the tourism and hotels we have to improve their lifestyle and also the quality. And this is what TUI Care Foundation actually, which is an integrated part of the group and a non-profit organization who signed with over 26 countries some contracts just to make sure that we can bring education, we can create job, and we can empower the local community.
And tell us about the Global Hospitality Fund. That's because if we look as business models, a lot of people are offering management contracts, a lot of people are offering franchise contracts. You obviously are an integrated resort system, but you also can invest. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah.
We have an international hotel fund which is backing up our operation. This is here just to separate the real estate business from the operational business and give us like a huge opportunity to focus more on the brand and drive excellence into the brands. This gives also like individual investors to jump on this very successful model of diverse investment between the tour operator and the hotel.
And you've done this in Africa already?
We've
used
done
this?
couple of times. I mean, recently we have bought the Club Med in Agadir, which is now under conversion to be a TUI Magic Life. We have acquired last year the first luxury brand, which is the Mora on the Zanzibar, which we are extending now. It is very successful, and this is all done by the international hotel funds. Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
And we're hunting now a couple of very nice opportunity to introduce also lodges this year. So on our target this year, we will be acquiring a few lodges in Kenya and in Tanzania just to make sure that
so you following Karim?
I think it's not about the following Karim. Yes, for sure. We are glad and honored to follow Karim and Marriott and top international hotel, but we sell them already, by the way.
And Graham's been doing safari for, what, 30 years, eh?
Yeah. No, in fact, post the pandemic, we have seen that the market is asking for a lot of bush and beach experience, and we as a tour operator, we're selling already.
I see Club Med in KZN is doing exactly that. Their product is bush and beach as a purpose-built product, not like Tanzania, which was created organically. We've unfortunately run out of time. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Graham, from a strategic? Anything exciting new that you're doing? You're building shopping centres that you're taking shareholding in as well?
Yeah, I think for us it's all about, because of the structural shift in the casino industry, it's about repurposing and reinventing our big integrated casino properties to become a blend between gaming and non-gaming attractions. So that's a big focus at the moment.
Karim, from you?
We have...
Any big announcements?
Announcement, I think... we are looking at first our opening autograph collection Moria House in Cape Town, that hopefully by August, September, that will be stunning property in Camps Bay. And that's for now. I would leave it to that.
Wessam?
Yeah, I think I can only repeat, we are very excited to open 3 hotels in the Gambia by the 1st of November this year. And we are introducing 2 different brands into the continent.
Brilliant. Good.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.